one of them in there. I do want to say hello to everybody. Hello to Davey. Good morning, One Pride right there, Single Dads Club. Darcy's in the house. Paul Jones is in the house, and he always reminds me that I need to give you guys if you're sick of the spam posts, our group is really good. I'm beginning to go around to the other groups that are around, and I'm really understanding how good our group is. And Paul Jones, you are one of the reasons, you along with Jeff Addison, making sure we keep all of the garbage that's out of there. But I threw a link in the comments right there that is a link to our Facebook group, which is the Detroit Lions main event, which you can post and you can get your opinions out there and all that good stuff. Dwayne Keene's in the house. Kneecap biting with Jeremy B's in the house. Scotty Reno's in the house. Darcy says that he needs some Viagra. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, what is it? Something about Halloween, huh? Drink coffee. That's what Paul Jones says. Elise Memes is in the house. Happy Halloween, villains. Gotta love that. Good morning. Good morning from Mark. And right there is our NFL shop that is in the comments right now. You can save up to 30% off of your order by clicking that link. And it helps us out too. Single dads, what's up? What's up to Matthew? What's up to Leo? Leo in the house. Jay Smooth is up in the house. I'm trying to make sure that I get everybody on here. What's up, John? What's up? Oh, Chad's in the house. I think that I got everybody. Hit that like button, just like the central scrutinizer does. He's out there scrutinizing, but that's a legitimate scrutiny, Mike. They need to hit the like button. It's okay. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't do anything other than help us. If you're just sitting there right there with a scowl on your face and be like, these guys suck. I can't believe it. I ain't hitting the like button, but I'm going to continue to listen to them. So, Honest Abe, we're getting into this week 9. Do we want to get right into it, or you got something that's on your mind?
No. Prediction Thursday. That's what's on my mind, brother, is reviewing what we did last week on Prediction Thursday. I know somebody in the chat was like, pick me a winner. Well, stick with Russell Wayne's picks here, and you might get a winner, because last week Russell Wayne picked 11 out of 16.
Ours goes to 11.
His goes to 11. He had 10 going into the Monday night game. We both took Pittsburgh. -6, and that hit. So I finished last week with 9 wins. You finished last week with 11 wins, Russell. Your lock pick also hit. So you are 5-3 on your lock picks. My lock pick did not hit. I am now 4-4. So, great. So first we're going to go through all the predictions. Then we're going to do our lock picks. And I like what we did last week, where we didn't pick the Monday game until the Monday show. So I think we'll stick with that. What do you think of that?
I mean, that's okay. It doesn't bother me either way. I'm good. What's up, John? I like
Happy Halloween to everybody and all the villains out there, and everyone watching on the recorded as well. Here we go. Week 9 predictions. First game on the slot. Houston Texans, Stephon Diggs out for the year now with an ACL injury at the New York Jets. The Jets just can't seem to get it right no matter what they do, but they are a favorite by 1.5 in this game at home against the Houston Texans. I'm taking the Houston Texans for the upset. I think Aaron Rodgers has convinced me that he has lost a step. We saw it in his last game against the Lions. He was already starting to lose a step. Kirby Joseph picking him off. A couple of those passes were just an inch short. His drop back, he's just an inch. He's just a foot late getting back to his spot. Everything is off by a little bit, and that's what happens after you turn 40, folks. Take it from me. So I'm taking the Houston Texans. I think they're going to win the game outright.
Yeah, I think this is dumb. I mean, this might end up being my lock pick right here. Houston Texans all day. And you're going to give me 1.5? Houston might punk them.
Right.
I don't care about Stephon Diggs not being there. You know, CJ Stroud is a real deal. He knows where the open guy is.
Yeah, but who are those guys? They're already thin at receiver. Nico Collins is out. They're not sure if he's going to come back for this game. He could be. So if they don't have Nico Collins and they don't have Stephon Diggs, all they got out there is Tank Dell and Dalton Schultz. Do you feel confident about that to go into MetLife Stadium against this Jets defense and pull it out?
Next man up, man. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been living off this all year. Who's going to rush the passer? Not going to be able to get anything. Oh, what are the Lions going to do? Okay, well, how good is your depth?
Okay, well, you got Houston. You got Houston plus 1.5. I'm taking Houston also, but I certainly wouldn't play this on a ticket. I certainly wouldn't make it a lock pick. That's just me. All right, moving on. Denver Broncos at the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens coming off a puzzling loss to the Cleveland Browns. Now they're going to be at home against Denver Broncos. I think they're going to take out their frustrations after that loss. Just like when they lost to the Raiders earlier this year, they came back the next week and blew the inferior team out. I believe that's what's going to happen here. I'm going to take Baltimore and lay down the 9 points.
Okay, so we're going to disagree on this. That's too many points. Denver's playing good football. Bo Nix is the best rookie quarterback that is out there right now. And give me Denver and the points.
All right, Russell Wayne going against the grain already this morning. Love it. Let's go see what the villains think here. Dwayne Keene says Texans. Paul says Texans. Henry Gray says Texans. Elise wants to know if today's show is sponsored by hymns.com. Texans embrace the darkness. I love that call out. Single Dad says Houston. Chada says Houston's. Mark G goes against the grain. He's taking the Jets. Henry Gray likes the Ravens. Mark G likes the Broncos. I think Mark G just likes to go against the flow, what everyone else thinks. Central says the Broncos and the points. And there we go. Next game on the docket is a divisional matchup. The Miami Dolphins with Tua Tagovailoa back under center at the Buffalo Bills -6. I don't care what the points are. I'm not betting against Josh Allen the rest of the year until he comes to Ford Field. I'm going to go ahead and take the Buffalo Bills. They went into Seattle last week and won an improbable game and covered the spread as well. I think that the new additions that they have on offense are Amari Cooper is going to start clicking with Josh Allen, and they're already in first place in the division. They're going to run away with this division. It's looking like. So I'm taking Buffalo.
Right on. I'm with you on that. I mean, Josh Allen's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Give me Buffalo. I'll lay the 6.
All right. Next game on the docket. The Washington Commanders, after their Hail Mary victory over the Chicago Bears, go into MetLife Stadium to play the division rival New York Giants, and they are laying 4 points on the road. Tough one here. I'm going to go ahead and take the Giants because it's a divisional game. Giants are at home. Give me the 4 points.
Right on. There's something magical about these Washington Commanders. They should have lost that last game, and I think that they're going to go into the week and they're going to prepare as if they lost the game. And I think that Commanders are going to cover that 4 points. Give me the Commanders minus the 4. Let's get in here and see where everybody else was at. We have Mark says the Bills. Chad said the Bills too. Dwayne says the Bills. Henry says Buffalo. Everybody's on the Bills right here. The Bills by Leo. And here we are in the next one right there. Mark's got Washington. Commanders all of the way. Commanders. So you're in the minority on that one, Mike. That's okay. Mike doesn't mind.
Next game on the slate, Las Vegas Raiders at the Cincinnati Bengals, who can't get off the schneid. Still only 2 wins. I'm rooting for the Raiders in this one, but I'm going to take the Bengals because I don't bet with my heart. I bet with my head, and I am taking the Cincinnati Bengals at home. 7 seems like a lot, though. I hate this pick. If I were to take the Raiders, I'd hate that pick too, but I'm going to go with Cincy.
Okay, well, you took my take too, right there. Yeah, it's too much points, just like you said. And I'm going to go with my head right there and just go ahead and say the Raiders I'll take the 7 points. I think the
Right.
Raiders win the game.
Okay, well, yeah, they went in and they beat the Ravens. No reason why they can't go in and beat Cincinnati as well.
Well, I want Trey
Aiden,
Hendrickson, so I really want them to lose.
yeah, same here. Same here. Aiden O'Connell with a finger injury. It'll probably be Gardner Minshew under center for the Raiders. Next game. This one is the Honolulu Blue Flu game. Tennessee Titans, after their devastating loss against the Lions, come back to home and play the worst team in the league, or one of the worst teams in the league, in the New England Patriots, who actually won last week. This one's going to be real interesting. Is the hangover real? I don't think it is. I'm one of the people that think it's just a coincidence, but I think the coincidence continues, and I will take the New England Patriots because I like those 3.5 points.
Oh my gosh. After just watching what we did to the Titans, but the Titans, they were hanging in there playing good defense. And gosh, man, this one's a tough one. This
It
one's
is
a
tough
one to me. It's like the battle of suck. And who sucks the least? So I'm going to take the Patriots too and the points because I can't decide. So I'd rather have points on something I can't decide.
There you go. Same here. When all things are equal, I like to take the best quarterback. Neither one has a great quarterback. And then when all things are equal with the quarterbacks, I like to take the best defense, which Tennessee has. I still am not taking Tennessee in this because of that Honolulu Blue Flu. Maybe that hangover is in the minds of players, or maybe Tennessee, with only one win on the year, are just giving up. So
New England Patriots. Every other into the comments here so I can get everybody's in there. It looks like everybody was kind of unanimous right here. Chad, Mark, Single Dads Club, Leo, and the Bengals. And then I had one guy that was on my side. The Central Scrutinizer was in there. And then we had a couple more Bengals. Dwayne was on my side with the Raiders. He likes the points. And then we got Tennessee from the Scrutinizer. We got Mark with the Pats, Chad with the Pats, Henry with the Pats, Leo with the Titans, Dwayne with the Pats, and Leo with the Titans because of the defense as we move on right there.
Next game on the slate is the Los Angeles Chargers at the Cleveland Browns, +1.5. Browns are at home getting 1.5 with Jameis Winston putting up more points in his first game under center than Deshaun Watson has his entire time in Cleveland. I think Cleveland feels really good about coming off that win. Jameis Winston, however, did have 3 interceptions that were dropped by the defenders. So that would have been same old Jameis Winston right there. And I don't think that the Chargers defenders are going to drop those. I'm going to take the Chargers on this one and hope that they lose, hope that the Browns lose the game, and maybe send a defensive player over to the Lions.
Yeah. I mean, famous Jameis coming through in the clutch. Do I want to take the Browns? Hell no. Justin Herbert's a better quarterback. Harbaugh's a better coach. They're in a better situation. They might actually do something. So give me the Chargers. I'll lay the 1.5.
Wow. Harbaugh is a better coach than 2-time coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski, is what you're saying.
Well,
it's there. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying. I just want to confirm.
Hey, Mike, are we going to debate what my take is? Or are we moving on to the Cowboys?
We're moving on to the Cowboys. The Atlanta Falcons.
You don't think I'm in Michigan? I just said Harbaugh was a better coach. Do you think I got some people that might agree with me on that live in Michigan?
Well, he has taken a team to the Super Bowl, and Stefanski never has. So I think it's a valid claim. I just want to make sure that that's what I heard correctly. Next game, Dallas at Atlanta, -2.5. This was 3 points. It's gone to 2.5 now because people are betting on the Cowboys on this one. At some point, you feel like the Cowboys are going to come out of this free fall that they're in, but maybe they don't. Maybe this is the Commanders' year to control this division. And I'm going to take Atlanta, -2.5.
Man, we're not supposed to be agreeing on stuff, Mike.
Well, that's okay.
I agree because I'm still in the back of my mind. I like the Atlanta Falcons. I like what they have. I like them to be on the rise, and I think that the Dallas Cowboys are on the fall. Give me the Falcons, and I'll lay the points.
Yeah, and don't worry about agreeing with me, Russ. I want to give the villains the absolute best predictions that we can. Next up on the docket, New Orleans at Carolina, +7.5. Bryce Young will be under center. New Orleans, Derek Carr might be back. It's all going to be determined whether or not he practices on Thursday and Friday, today and tomorrow, whether Derek Carr comes back or not. This is a divisional game. Carolina's at home. 7.5 is a lot. If this were 6, I might take the Saints, but I'm going to take Carolina and the 7.5. It should be noted, every single time I've taken Carolina this year, I've lost.
Yeah, Carolina's a dumpster fire, but there you go. Bryce Young's coming back to it, but the New Orleans Saints are a dumpster fire. They gave up on one of their games. I mean, you could just see it right in their whole demeanor. I think this game's just closer than that. I mean, if it was 1.5, I would go, okay, that's cool. I'd take Carolina and the 1.5. I'll take Carolina and 7.5.
All right, it doesn't look like anybody really agrees with us in the comments.
Aints will win. They're saying that we'll win. That they'll win. Saints will win. I think.
But
Saints
will they cover?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to cover.
I mean, Carolina just got rid of their best receiver, Deontay Johnson, sent him over to the Ravens, right? They're talking about trading either one of their backs, which is Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders. That both of those players have been made available for trade. That's widely known across the NFL. So maybe they're giving up on this season. Jonathan Brooks, the rookie running back who suffered an injury in college, is slated to play in this game for the first time. So it really is a question mark for these Carolina Panthers, but looks like most of the villains want the Saints. Did you want to run through that?
Let's see. We got the Falcons because the Cowboys suck. Kirk and Chains right there. Falcons won't lose. You got Chad going with the Saints. Mark's going with the Saints. Henry's going with the Saints. Let's see. We got Dwayne with the Saints. Aints will win. Man, our division is ludicrous. We already got some picks for the Eagles in there too. So,
all right. Jacksonville, without further ado, then Jacksonville at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles look like they're starting to get it together. Looks like they're going to contend. They're going to be the ones to contend with Washington for this division and not the Cowboys. They're two young quarters, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, playing lights out right now. Like the Lions, they took 2 corners in the draft, and their 2 corners so far outplaying the 2 corners from the Lions by a mile. These guys are starting, and they're locking them down. They've only allowed, I think, 6 catches since they've both been on the field as starters in 3 games combined. They've only allowed 6 catches. So that back end of that defense, and then the Philly crowd, I think this is a no-brainer. Jacksonville just can't get off the schneid. They might keep this game close, but I like Philly to win, so therefore I'm going to lay the points.
You know, the Eagles to me are like the most underrated 5-2 team that's out there, because you know the way that we talk about them, you would think that they were like 3-5. No, but this is a 5-2 team that hasn't even been playing all that good. It kind of reminds me of the Lions in that way. There's a whole bunch of things that aren't together yet, but yet they're still demolishing teams. I think that the Eagles are going to demolish the Jacksonville Jaguars. Give me the Eagles, and I'll lay the 7.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel Philadelphia feels like a sleeping giant with all the studs that they have on defense, and like you just said, what are they, 5-2?
5-2.
They feel like they should be less than that. They aren't blowing it. It's almost like they picked right up where they left off last year, where they started out to a 10-1 start and then collapsed down the stretch. So, but yet here they are, 5-2 at home against Jacksonville, and I like that call, Russ. I think they're going to destroy them. Next game, Chicago Bears at the Arizona Cardinals, -1.5. I'm going to take the Cardinals in this one, just because I think that what happened in Washington is the kind of thing that gets in the psyche of a team. And Arizona's tough at home. Lions only beat them 20-13 out there, and they played us right down to the wire. I think Arizona's going to get it done at home. I don't like the 1.5 points. This might be a 1-point win for the Cardinals, or the Bears win this game outright. But I just can't see the Bears going in there on the road and winning.
Yeah, man, it's hard. I'm on the same boat, but no, I'll take the Bears and the 1.5. I think that they'll talk to the guy, and it'll be all right. And I'm not going to go through and say everybody's name again through this. I'm just going to kind of scroll through. You'll see them. You'll see your picks pop up as you go in, just so I don't have to say everybody's name 15 times. Oh, you're moving on. I'm sorry. There we go.
Next game is your Detroit Lions at the Evil Empire. Lambeau Field. Green Bay Packers, a 4:25 kickoff. Green Bay is plus 3.5. I hate that. I absolutely hate it. I have to take Green Bay and the 3.5 because I just think this game is going to be closer than that. Green Bay is for real, folks. They are legit. Don't feel bad taking Green Bay and the points because I still think the Lions will win this game. I just think these two teams are too evenly matched for a 3.5-point spread. Something to keep in mind before you make your pick, Russell. A couple of little nuggets I've procured for you here this morning. Jordan Love with a groin injury. He is hell-bent on playing. It will all come down to whether he can get some good practice in tomorrow. He's not going to practice today. Usually when teams don't practice their players on Thursday, that team has a very limited chance to play on Sunday. But Jordan Love has come out and he's been very adamant in the media that he is going to play. This game is too big. He's going to play. Well, if he doesn't play, it will be Malik Willis under center. And Matt LaFleur is such a great play caller. Here's a couple of things to consider. When Malik Willis is in the game, Matt LaFleur calls design run plays for the quarterback go up from 41% to 68% when Malik Willis is in the game. Also, the yards per rush average goes way up when Malik Willis is in the lineup. And also the average depth of target, the play action percentage goes way up. So they run a lot more play action. They run a lot more design runs when it's Malik Willis. And the Lions, we all know one thing that kills this Lions defense is a running quarterback. So look for Malik Willis to be on his horse if he's going to be under center. Now, Jordan Love, this is a groin injury, folks, soft tissue injury. Yeah, he wants to play really bad. And the Green Bay Packers do have a bye week next week. So if Jordan Love goes out there and tries to push in and he aggravates a groin injury, that is the kind of injury that can linger for the rest of the season. These are the kind of nagging groin injuries that we have seen quarterbacks and skill position players fight through year after year. There's always somebody battling a groin injury. Jordan Love could be that guy if he goes out there and presses it too hard. So it'll be very interesting to see who they trot out there to start. Jordan Love will be active for the game. We do know that. So whether he starts, whether he plays, we'll have to wait and see. And Matt LaFleur has said he doesn't mind playing both quarterbacks. If Jordan Love is hurting when he goes out there, he'll put Malik Willis in a minute. If Malik Willis is struggling out there, he'll put Jordan Love in a minute. So going to be an epic battle. Lions have won 4 of the last 5. I'm taking Green Bay in the points, though, because it's just too close.
Right on. Last year I laid the 11 points with Tennessee, and the Lions decided to take them to Spanky Town. And I definitely lost that one. I lost by betting against I got 11 right. And one of them that I got wrong was me betting against my team. And I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to take Lions. I'm going to go ahead and lay the 3.5. I think the Lions are just a better team. It isn't just about the quarterback. Even if you want to argue and say that Jordan Love is better than Jared Goff for whatever idiotic reason you want to think of, and I give you that, we're better in every other spot. Oh, you have a good safety in Xavier McKinney. We have 2 good safeties. We have a linebacker core that matches up like your linebacker core. We have cornerbacks, you have cornerbacks. It's like, I think that we are a better offense. I think we have 2 running backs that are both better than your running back. So I just think they're better all the way around. And this is a chance for them to create separation in the division. They're going to be there. They're going to be fired up. They're going to be pissed off because the last time that they faced, the Green Bay did win the game. So there's a lot of things that are riding on that. So give me the Lions and I'll lay the points.
Everybody in the comments is agreeing with you. Chata, Dwayne, Jeremy B, Mark, Leo, single dads. I mean, everybody taking the Lions here except our Packer fan, Jay Smooth, says, go, Pack, go. Good call out here by Fred Peterson, who says Josh Jacobs did not practice on Wednesday. However, I did hear on satellite radio this morning that he is guaranteed he will play on Sunday. Detroit fan man in the house, a Spanky Town population, FTP. Love that call. All right, there you go. Russ is taking Detroit, laying the 3.5. I'm taking Green Bay plus the 3.5. And the next game on the docket is those LA Rams against those damn Seahawks. Seahawks at home plus 1.5. Why are the Seahawks getting points at home against the Rams? I'm going to go ahead and take Seattle in the points because this is a divisional game. They come off a spanking from the Bills last week, and Mike McDonald's on the hot seat from the Seattle fans. I'm going to go ahead and take Seattle in this one, Russell.
Wow, I'm riding high with the Matt Staffords right there. I'm not going to go get my Detroit Rams jersey or anything like that. But the Rams, they got Puka Nacua back. They got Cooper Kupp back. I'm going to take these Rams to demolish the Seahawks, and he can stay on the hot seat.
All right, Russell. Love it. Next game. The Indianapolis Colts at the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota coming off of a bye. Big-time trade rumors about Jordan Addison, that the Patriots are actively trying to pry Jordan Addison away from the Vikings. That will be really interesting if that happens. The Colts benching Anthony Richardson and going to start Joe Flacco, brought to you by Geritol. And Minnesota is -5 at home. I think they get right, Minnesota. Now, I have a quick question here. Does the Lions hangover apply to a team that had a bye week after they played the Lions? Otherwise, if it doesn't apply, then, I mean, if it does apply, then Minnesota could win this game and break that curse. There'll always be an asterisk. Every team that's played the Lions has lost the next week, except Minnesota, who had a bye. So I'm going to take Minnesota here to cover the 5 easily in this game. They got a bad taste in their mouth and a week off, and the Colts are just lined right up in their sights for them to get right and get back in this division race. I got Minnesota -5.
Well, Minnesota lost to the Rams the week after they played us. They had a bye.
Oh, good call. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Shit, I forgot about that Thursday night game. Thank you.
Well, but the Dallas Cowboys did have a bye after they played us, and then they lost.
There you go. Good call.
So we're 6-0. The hangover is real. It's a real thing right here. But this right here, I kind of agree with you. I mean, but Joe Flacco does give them a better chance to be more efficient in that game, even though he's 150 years old. But I pick Minnesota to get right on this. I'll take Minnesota. I'll minus the points.
All right. And that is our final game on the docket, folks. The Monday night game will be Tampa Bay at Kansas City. Be sure to tune into the Main Event Football Show, 7 p.m. Monday night, hosted by yours truly. Russell Wayne will be behind the glass producing, as always. And we will make predictions on that Monday night game. Right now, the line is Tampa Bay at Kansas City -8.5. Ooh, it's a lot of points. Without anyone to throw to, Kansas City at home. It's going to be interesting to make those picks on Monday night. So there you have it. Now it's time for our lock picks, brought to you by NFLshop.com. Get all your NFL gear at NFLshop.com. Leverage the power of the villain by using our QR code or our link that is in the comments and save up to 30% when you use our code. Lock picks. Russ, I'm going to let you make your lock pick first since you are in the lead. You're 5-3 on your lock picks this year. I'm 4-4. What do you got for a lock for us?
The one that stood out to me is you got a reeling Seattle Seahawks team right here. And I'm going to take Matt Stafford in the LA Rams to go in and take care of some business with the Seahawks. That's going
Wow.
to be my lock.
I love it. You'll have to cover a 1.5 point spread to win that, and you're still confident with that on the road against a division opponent.
You give me 6.5, and I would probably still take the Rams. I mean, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, that team just came back. Now they're back. They were a Super Bowl contending team going into this year. This team
Right.
going into now you got these defensive players that are starting to play a little bit. Jared Verse, brand new guy, Fisk. These guys are starting to figure out some things on defense. So I think that's an ascending team.
That's a good call out.
Look
And
out for the Rams.
DK Metcalf is questionable for the game, and Devin Witherspoon is out. Their outstanding second-year corner will not play in this game. So they're going to be down a man in the secondary against those high-profile receivers, like you said. So there you go. Russell's taking the Rams as his lock pick. For my lock pick, I'm taking the Vikings at home against the Indianapolis Colts. I think the Brian Flores defense is going to be way too much for an aging Joe Flacco. He's going to have to get rid of the ball real quick, which is not his forte. He likes to throw the ball downfield, and I don't think the Minnesota Vikings are going to give him that kind of time. That's going to force Jonathan Taylor in the run game to carry this Minnesota team, and I don't think that 5 points is enough for them to do that. So there you go. Main Event Mike takes the Vikings for his lock. Russell Wayne takes the Rams as his lock. This has been fun. It's a great Thursday. I love being on the show. Happy Halloween, everyone. Be safe tonight. I got to go. Take care, folks.
And that's Main Event Mike right there. Oh, man, we zipped through that stuff. I thought I was going to have a little bit of time to talk with Main Event Mike about some of this stuff right here. But, I might as well say rest in peace to the fans that could dish it, but they couldn't take it. And I know that we got something that what are the top reasons to ghost the villain is your team loses. Your team loses. All the trash talking, all of the baritone that was in your voice when you were talking all that smack, and now our team's sitting at 6-1, and your team is wherever it's at, and you don't want to come in, and your teams aren't even bad. I wasn't even being hard on your teams. It's okay. It's okay, because I still believe this. I believe the NFC North is the best division in football. You know how I know that? Because I made this graphic in week 1. It was the overreaction Monday after everybody won. That's a graphic that has stayed here since week 1. I've said this since the beginning. It's okay. It's okay. We've had a good division. But thank you, everybody that participated. Happy Halloween to everybody. Thank you, everybody that participated into the lock picks. Now you got your lock picks. They're locked in there forever. They're in there forever. We were zipping through them. We thought we were going to be able to talk a little bit about some of the things that were going on. And but I did want to put a shout out to all of the rival fans that could dish it, but they couldn't take it, and they decide to ghost the villain for whatever reason. What's a top 10 reason? Well, my sister's dog's hamster. We needed to have a wake. We needed to have a burial. It's the weak trolls. Right there. The Lions' depth continues to shine. That's one of the things I wanted to hit up. Right here. Put a shout out to some of the Lions' depth. I mean, there's been on the pass rush has been under a lot of scrutiny. You were given some clean pockets in the first half to Mason Rudolph. And there's some concern that was in there. There's some concern. We need to get a pass rush. We need to go trade for somebody. And we discussed who we want to trade for. A lot of people think the smart money is on Zadarius Smith. Zadarius Smith is 32 years old. You make a trade for a pass rusher. There's a whole bunch of pass rushers that are available. Maybe in a trade. That could be available in a trade, I should say. But I want to put a shout out to the depth. The Lions' depth continues to shine. And this is this is a true thing. Muhammad had a great game. Muhammad comes in off the practice squad. He gets 6 pressures. He's able to affect the game. And he didn't even register a tackle. But you want to talk about what is the impact that you're looking for when you're looking for a pass rusher? Of course, you want Aiden Hutchinson. You want a guy that's a wrecker, and that's what he is 100% of the time. Of course, you want that. But if you don't have that, you need a guy that can play the position. Muhammad set the edge. Muhammad provided a pass rush. He may not have gotten a sack, but he may have forced one of those interceptions, forces the ball out of there. I want to put a shout out to Levi Onwuzurike. Levi Onwuzurike. He also had 2 pressures. He was the top-rated lineman. He was the top-rated guy on defense. PFF had him graded out at 86.1. Levi Onwuzurike playing his ass off. Trevor Nowaski. He's in the background of this picture. You see him sitting back there? When guys get injured, it's next man up. Oh, you need to trade a good pass rusher. Okay. But it's still next man up. We got some guys, man. We got some guys that can play. DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil are the starters. Well, Levi Onwuzurike is moving up there, getting a lot of snaps now, and he's playing well. In the absence, Muhammad came in and gave you quality snaps, 49 quality snaps. Trevor Nowaski, he comes in and he plays 39 quality snaps at linebacker. The depth is shining. All the guys that we have can play. Of course, you want your starters that are out there. But, the guys that they got are doing their job. So I wanted to put a shout out to them. I mean, we can talk about trading for pass rushers. I want them to trade for a pass rusher. You want to put more talent in the room. Chase Young's available. Do you like Chase Young? Chase Young probably has the most ability out of somebody that would actually be available to you. What could Terrell Williams do with a Chase Young? I don't mind that one. That's not a bad one. What else we got in here? What else we got in these comments? We definitely need some depth. Yep, the lack of pass rush may makes us worried a little bit, huh? Chad thinks that the Vikings are going to rebound. Okay, we got some of that good stuff in there. Muhammad impressed you too, huh? I'm digging him. You know, really, you got to have the guy, because no matter what, I mean, if something happens and the bottom falls out of all these trades that Brad Holmes was working on, because there's nothing done yet, they haven't announced anything. I mean, the trade deadline could come and go, and it could be Isaiah Thomas, and then we have to go with the guys that we have. But if you're telling me that we can get a guy off the practice squad, Muhammad, who has had some success in his career, you know, he's another one of those Brad Holmes injury reclamation projects. And that's good. I like him. I really love the way that Levi Onwuzurike, that's undersold. The defensive tackle position is undersold just because of the how it affects plays. You know, we can look at the PFF grades, and I can tell you, I think the PFF grades do the best to, you know, tell you what linemen are doing. You know, the guys that don't get grades, it does help in that area, because you wouldn't know that. Levi Onwuzurike had a couple quarterback hits, but that doesn't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. You know, it doesn't mean sacks, you know, but you need a guy that can do that. And when I see him graded out at an 86 point, might as well throw it up here. When I see him graded out at an 86.1, that's like, hey, that's some big man love. That's big man love. I don't know what you feel about PFF, but I love the way that it can paint a picture for offensive and defensive linemen that don't get sacks, or what, you know, however you want to, you know, pressures. I think that's a good stat. That's more of a recent stat, you know, in the last 15 years. I think the conditions for Sundays favor our team in the trenches. That's the central scrutinizer right there. Jeremy says, I prefer Aziz. I mean, I get that. You got a guy that's producing right now on a bad team. He's only 24 years old, so you could think future too. So, yeah, he's only 24 years old, Fred. And yeah, and Aziz would be a good one. That's a good one that I think would be under the radar. And you might not have to get crazy with the draft compensation that you send back. You know, I mean, doing something that's out there. It's like the Lions don't have a 3rd round pick next year. So I could see them, you know, moving their 2nd round pick, or moving their 3rd round pick to a 3rd round pick. You know, you got the 1st round. I mean, they can get creative. I think Holmes doesn't get the kind of depth by trade deadline. It will be the first big mistake since becoming our GM. He's been near perfect until now, but he has to get this done. You know, you have to have willing participants, and you know, I trust in the process. I trust in the process of this. They've proven that they can beat some teams without Aiden Hutchinson. And if you think that Minnesota's not a good team, then you're crazy. You're crazy. That's a good Minnesota team that we beat without Aiden Hutchinson. Sam Darnold isn't he is playing the best football of his career. That's because he's got good playmakers. So, I trust in Brad Holmes regardless. Wayne, how do they score on a pressure? Yeah. I don't know how they score on a pressure. I just know that when you get a pressure, that means that you're affecting the play. Now, the guy may just move to the left and make the throw anyway. It still counts as the pressure. But a pressure can also measure into, did that pressure come on a play that an interception was thrown? Was he moved off of his spot when an interception was thrown? That's another way that you can measure it. And I have no idea how they measure it on PFF. I just know that they end up with a grade. They grade every single play. They grade them in a couple of different ways. Brad wouldn't touch Chase Young last year, and he won't this year. Well, it depends on what you're getting him for. Last year they were trying to get a second round, third round pick for him, and I could see him not paying that. But you're telling me that you wouldn't give a conditional 7th round pick to get Chase Young? Kick the tires on him for a 7th round pick? That's the question we'll throw out. He has been inconsistent. I don't know about more than your vowels. You got some weird takes. The central scrutinizer, Holmes makes a move. Will he be a budget Brad, or do you think he gets a high impact guy? We can easily give up some picks. Yeah, we've been through that on here, central scrutinizer. We've been through. We know that they can afford to give some picks away because of how he's drafted. We got a lot of good guys that are still under contract, and they'll be under contract next year, and they'll be on contract the next year after that. So we have good guys, so we don't have to bring in 7 rookies next year. I mean, it may be difficult for them to get playing time, even if they're higher draft picks, because we got good starters, and they're going to be under contract next year. We even got good backups in a lot of the places that are going to be here next year. So if they make a move or not, to trust the staff, because they changed this team, and I'm making it tough, and they play for each other, all grit, never back down. We're never going to back down. We're never going to back down. There you go. A pressure is created when a player gets within a space to make the QB move. When you affect the play, pressures affect the play. And I don't know how PFF grades, but if you're going to get a good pass rushing grade, like Levi Onwuzurike had a 74.8 pass rushing grade. Muhammad had a 74.4 pass rushing grade. So, and it's usually reflected in, whether you're getting hurries, if you get pressures, if you get sacks. Now they have a couple different ways that they can measure it. Not saying to get the starter, but we're like one big injury away from having a real problem at that position. We need depth to bring up off the practice squad if necessary, and that's what we're going with. And we're happy that our depth is playing, and they're playing well. You know, I mean, we're not just on depth. We're already in that spot. Davenport got injured. Pecco got injured. Kaminsky got injured. Hutchinson got injured. Barnes got injured. Yeah, we're there. That's why I do believe they're going to go get somebody, because that's a lot. That's a lot to suffer in an area of getting pressure on the quarterback. And the fact that all those guys are injured, and last week they were still able to generate 17 pressures. It's crazy. That's crazy to me. Terrell Williams. That's what I say. Terrell Williams. You're coaching them up good. You're coaching them up good. That's the only explanation that you can survive that many pass rushing injuries. And then you still got guys. You're still getting 17 pressures. That's not all scheme, guys. That's not all Aaron Glenn just being like, oh, I'm going to be a genius. You know, what I love about the defense is they mold. The defense molds, and, you know, they did get beat on the first couple drives in that Tennessee game. You know, but the defense changed. And after they scored that 14 and they had that goal line stand, it was no zone. It was no for the rest of the game. Now, I know it's different that you're playing from behind, but too bad. That's what it is. If the Lions can get out ahead of you, they know how to squeeze the life out of you. That defense is lethal like that. I love that they changed. You know, I love that Kirby Joseph got beat right over the middle of the field in that soft zone right there. And he was just dropping that ball right in the bucket. Aaron Glenn goes over there and chews his ass out. And the next play, he tries to throw the ball into that little soft zone. And there's Kirby for the interception. They learn from their mistakes. That's what I love about this team, is they learn from their mistakes. Like, even when a team stops them on the first couple, it seems like once Ben Johnson figures it out, he figures out how to attack you, and then you're done. They're just going to score on you. Nothing you can really do about it. We're just going to score a bunch of points, especially on offense. Our offense is so good. Our offense is so good that our number one receiver can catch two balls and you can still score 52 points. Our offense is so good that our $54 million quarterback can throw 15 passes and still score 52 points and have less than 100 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. That's because they're good at other spots. You know, it isn't just about the pass rush. It's the fact that the linebackers are playing at a very high level. The safeties are playing at a very high level. And God forbid you give the quarterback enough time to throw so Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch can get more interceptions. Our cornerbacks are starting to play good. The safeties are already playing good. They're going to get challenged this week. There is no doubt in my mind that the Lions are going to get challenged this week. The Green Bay Packers present like a unique challenge because they too have playmakers all over the field. But I do believe that the Lions match up well against the Packers. I believe it. You know, if you're going in a 3 wide receiver set, you got Jaden Reed, Watson, and Dobbs out there, and a tight end. I believe in Amik Robertson, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, Terry Arnold. Like, I love that in a one-on-one matchup, man-to-man. And that's where all of those wide receivers have struggled. The Reeds, the Watsons, the Dobbs, Meltons. They're good wide receivers. They're all real good. Reed might be elite, but they're good. They're good. But we have cornerbacks that can match up with him. Amik Robertson is going to be a gritty dog in the middle of the field. He's going to be all over whoever he's guarding. You know that. Same thing with Carlton Davis. He's going to be a dirty dog out there in man coverage against whoever he's playing. And Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are going to be roaming that back, and they're going to be ball hawking. Now, the last time that the Green Bay Packers played us, they beat us on some big shots, some deep shots. Key to the game. Keys to the game is the Lions have to limit the big play. Lions have to limit the big play. If they limit the big play, I think they win this game. If they limit their own mistakes, I think that the Lions can win this game going away. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Jared Goff, don't fumble the ball. If you have to take the sack, take the sack. Don't give them the ball back. Limit the mistakes. Limit mistakes. You are watching the Lion Villain Report. I am your host, Russell Wayne. Thank you for joining us on our Lock Pick edition. Talking Lions football, talking rest of the NFL. The new NFL week, week 9 starts tonight. Thank you to the Villain Squad Facebook page for allowing us to broadcast in their 56,000 followers. Why have billions when you can have thousands? The Detroit Lions News Podcast Network, right there. Joe Chap and the boys in their 78,000 Lion fan network. The JC Sports Network. We are on YouTube at Lions Villain Squad. Brought to you by NFL Shop. You can use the link in the comments. Get yourself up to 30% off of your order. Thank you to NFL Shop, our affiliate marketing partner. Faith, family, then football. In that order. It has to be in that order because when we're trolling people, we ain't trying to make it personal. We just don't like your football team. We can like you as a person. We want you to prosper. Faith, family, and then football. It's in that order. We use football to create memories and spend time with our family. We don't let football use us. And may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again. And that'll be tomorrow morning for the Lion Villain Report. God bless. Peace out.
Hey, yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands is open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision that pay me, it's never to sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity.